Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Step Up to Rise Up, the show that is dedicated to you, the listener, and providing you tools to level up in your life and in your business. So, good morning, everyone. So excited, or afternoon, I should say. So excited to be starting a brand new year. Um, it, it always brings those feelings, I think, to all of us about new beginnings, I guess. That's what I think of mostly. And I kind of think that in this group of purpose seekers, that's really what we're all about. We're all about new beginnings and taking new steps to level up. In case you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Linda Nelson, and I'm a belief mindset coach, and I provide strategies, resources, tools, encouragement, and support to all of those who are looking to level up in their life to be the very best version of themselves and thereby living their best life. So, welcome everyone today. Last week, I gave you it was meant to be short and ended up to be longer than I thought, but wanted to catch you up and wish you all a happy new year. And then we talked a little bit about word of the year. And thank you to those of you who shared, because it's really helpful, I think, for us to see how those words develop. Many of you shared not only your word, but kind of how you came up with it. So find that post if you haven't shared yours yet, and do let us know what it is you want to focus on this year. It's a great way to always be aware and kind of keep it top of mind for you as you look to set goals. And today we're going to talk about setting goals and kind of thinking about all those things that we want to create in our life this 2023. So I want to talk to you quickly about the difference, at least for me, in setting goals versus setting intentions. And most of you know, if you've heard some of my training in the past, that I'm a believer in setting intentions. And I'll tell you why. For many years, I found I was setting goals that weren't really about me. They were things that I did often for other people, or they might have been, I should have this goal. You never want to set goals based on someone else's goals or on things you think you should do. So I guess I learned over time that for me, when I kept setting the same goals and not reaching them, and then finally coming to the conclusion that they really weren't my goals, goals had taken on kind of a negative connotation for me. And so I began to switch that up and change my mindset around goals by calling it intentions instead. And so maybe that will help some of you too. It definitely has helped me. And so I set an intention for my year, for my quarter, for my months, for my weeks, and ultimately my days. I set up a series of intentions. And I don't know, it's just for me very freeing to start my day off with what I intend to accomplish. And I don't make it a long list. I make it, 3 things. And then anything that I do beyond that just feels really good. So for me, I have much more positive mindset around intentions versus goals. If you are not bothered by goals, talking about goals and goal setting, that's fine. You can interchange those words. But if goals have become negative for you and you just don't believe in doing it anymore, even, I want to challenge you to think about it differently and challenge your brain to think about intentions instead. So, a new month, new year, let's even back up a little bit. A new year and new months and new quarters and all of that just brings about those feelings of new beginnings, a perfectly cleared slate that you can write on. And this is the perfect time to think about what is it that you intend to do for this year. And having clarity about that and being specific about that is going to move you forward to a fabulous year at the end of the year when you look back, as I hope you did in 2022 as well, to see all those things that you actually did accomplish on your way to creating that life that you want. So today, you may have seen in my post, I had a picture of like a footstool. And for me, this is such a great visual as you go about setting intentions or goals for 2023, because we want to take into account, as we're working on our intentions or goals, a kind of a total well-being, an overall sense of accomplishment and improvement in our whole person. And our whole person includes those three things that I put on the legs of the stool, and that is body, mind, and spirit or soul. And so it's important to set intentions or goals in each of those three areas. And if you know anything about a three-legged stool, this is a great visual to keep in mind. That stool cannot stand up if any one of those legs is off. So it's also a really good check every once in a while to say, okay, I'm feeling off. Where is it I'm off in my goals and my intentions? And we talked about this in an earlier live. And when I posed that question in the group, like, where are you off? What do you need to work on? Where are you out of balance using that three-legged stool, that body, mind, spirit area? Most of you were able to come up right away with, I'm off in my body. I haven't been getting the sleep I need to get. Or I haven't been doing my devotions. I'm off in my spirit. Or I haven't taken the time to focus on me and a positive mindset. I really need to work on feeding my mind with more positive things, for example. So as you're setting your intentions or your goals, however you want to look at that, keep in mind as you do that, those overall body, mind, spirit kind of goals. So let me give you some examples, and we can talk more about this throughout the week. But for example, say you have some overall wellness goals this year, and those would be physical, the body, right? Taking better care of yourself. So underneath that might be a goal to the one we talked about already, get more sleep, like having more set sleep and awake times to help your sleep be better. Maybe that's a concentration for you. Or maybe it's to drink more water. I know I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm not drinking the water I should, and it's so important to do that. And so simple, really, to add that as a goal to my overall health. I know that I feel better just taking some time to be aware of my water intake. So that's something that I plan to do. You might have some goals in moving your body more. Maybe you've gotten to that point, especially over the holidays, where you've been sitting too much. And so walking or moving your body every hour, or having an intention or a goal of, watching a TV show that you want to watch, but using commercials to move around, do some housework, do some jumping jacks, whatever that might be for you. So those are some examples of body goals or intentions. The second one is mind. And you will see as we lay out some intentions in these three areas that they all kind of interrelate. And that's why they are dependent on one another. It's why that stool can't stand up on its own. We need to pay attention to all of those. So some things under some intentions or goals under the mind area might be things like doing some more reading, like looking at some personal development books and maybe spending 10 minutes a day or a chapter a night or whatever that might be for you to fill your mind with positive things. Or maybe it's listening to a favorite podcast when you go for a walk, for example. There you actually get to do two things at one time. And if it's a spiritual devotional, you actually do a couple of different things all at one time. And so you can capitalize on those goals too by having them be interconnected. So maybe it's just being aware of the negative thoughts, your negative self-talk throughout the day. And you want to quickly stop that and switch those negative thoughts to positive thoughts. That might be a habit you want to work on as it relates to your mind. Or maybe you want to spend some time with growth, just personal growth, and set aside some time for you that allows you to do that by listening to podcasts or reading a book or spending some time on the internet with a favorite topic of yours, or taking some quizzes or some assessments that will help you know yourself better, for example. So those are all some ideas in the mind area. And then lastly, we have spirit or soul. And this could be doing some intentional reading every day in the Bible, or starting a devotion practice where you spend some time every day in quiet and just read a devotional and think about some thoughts that you have as you read it. Maybe this is the time for you to pick up journaling. That's good for the mind, but it's also good for the spirit, because it's in those quiet moments and when we're writing things down that God can really reach us and speak to us. Maybe you want to start a practice of gratitude. That helps your spirit and your mind as well. So those are some ideas of things to keep in mind in all three of those areas for overall well-being this year. So I'm going to challenge you to set 1 or 2 goals in each area. Don't make them huge or big. And then we're going to talk more about this next week when we talk about routines and habits, because it's habits that get us to do those actions we want to take. But that's for next week. So thank you for sharing your word, those of you who did. If you haven't taken the opportunity to do that, please do so under the post. I will pin it to the top if you haven't seen it. I wanted to share with you again, my word is more. And as it relates to this group, I want to serve more of you, and I want to serve you better or more, if you will. So I'm going to be sending around or have you complete like a little quiz on some of the struggles maybe, or how I can support you this year that you face so that you have your best year ever with my help and encouragement in this group, Purpose Seekers. So look for changes coming your way this month as I look to serve you more and thereby grow me more in the process. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk with you about today. For those of you attending live, thank you for joining me. Let's see, do I have anybody that's even on? I haven't even looked at my comments here, and I don't know if I can find them offhand here. But anyway, if you're joining me live, thank you. Let me know you're here by commenting and saying hello in the comments. If you're catching me later on replay, just put hashtag replay or team replay in the comments, and I will circle back with any thoughts that you share, any questions that you have on the topic. And I'd also like to work on your engaging more. So look for things to help you engage in the topic at hand each week too, as we go forward this year. Thank you again, you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I'll be back again for our next episode of Step Up to Rise Up, noon Central on Mondays. Have a wonderful day, everyone.